Alright, it's Sunday afternoon. I've been out here since church, but I haven't had time to do much of nothing. I've been busy with other crap. But anyways, what I have done is I run 3 beads of weld with my little torch. The idea being to tighten that up. That was a leak in there. The slip fit was a little too loose. So I ain't sure how that's going to work out, but we'll find out. I think I'm going to go ahead. I don't know. I was going to say maybe I'll fire this thing up on the stand, but I don't know if I got any gas. I better check. Nope, no gas. Guess what? Fired up in the truck. Won't be such a bad thing. Alright, I've begun disassembly on most of this, but while I still got it in a handy spot to work on, I'm going to try to make my power steering bracket work. Now this came off a 250, but it's a later model, like a 79 or something. So, of course it don't fit this older head, so I'm going to have to modify it. Of course, well, let's see how that goes. Alright, here's what I figured out. I got that bracket sorta lined up. Now look. That pulley don't line up. So I'm going to have to modify the other bracket once I get the first bracket appropriately modified. Isn't that always the way? And then I don't know where I'm going to put my air conditioning. But I suppose I can figure it out. Alright, I got my bracket fabbed up there pretty good. And now the power steering pump needs to go that way, 7/16 of an inch by my measurements. And how I did that was took this here piece of steel and laid it up there and then stuck my tape measure down and measured it. That's how I done it. Now I've got to take some out of here and here and there and move the pump over 7/16 of an inch. And then it's going to get tight right there, ain't it? When you do one thing, it affects another. You know, it'd be a lot easier just go to the dealership, get me one of them new somethings with 500 horsepower. Be a lot easier. Well, at least till they gave me that payment book. Alright, now it's Monday evening, and the little man here had something run into him when he wasn't looking. But he's okay. He's okay. Don't worry. We're modifying the power steering here. We won't work at it too long, but we'll do something. We've decided to turn over a new leaf. Somebody complained about the gauges on my test stand. How they were just hanging and dangling there, and you know what? You're right. I'm going to go ahead and fix that now. Actually, the little man's fixing it now. He's done put the temperature gauge there, and we're going to put the oil pressure gauge over here. So that'll be taken care of. Of course, the next problem we are presented with is what to do with this ugly hole. It looks like an old pair of sunglasses in a kind of abstract way. The reason for that hole like that is one time I had it in mind, I had an extra Trans Am gauge cluster, and I thought I could use the tack from it and the gauges, but I got it all mounted up in there and figured out the tack was no good, and so, well, you know, it became a zip tie triple gauge affair. Worked for years, but we're turning over a new leaf. We're going to start doing things a little bit more correctly. We're going to have the gauges mounted in the holes that were already cut there. And we might get real froggy and label them. I don't know. Maybe. It took me a long time to say nothing, didn't it?
Yeah.
He's fixed the gauges that was bugging some of yous. Now what's bugging me is he's got the gauges pointing in 2 different directions, but I'm going to let that slide. He's also fabricating a piece to fill that ugly hole. And then I was messing with this motor here. I got rid of the 305 that was in that truck, and somehow this appeared. This was in another truck I had that y'all never saw. I'm sorry, I didn't show you. But I sold that truck and I got the motor back. And this bolt, which appears to be a 1/2-inch bolt at least, might be 9/16, was jammed up in the end of the crank. Wasn't even tight. That's what was holding our balancer on. That's some amateur crap right there. So I wonder if the crank's any good. This motor, somebody put new heads on it and then left it outside with the valve covers off. It's not stuck though, I don't think. I really don't know why I'm even messing with it. Maybe it's just curiosity. But that's what I'm doing. And another thing, if y'all buy cameras and need batteries, and you think, hey, it'd be a good idea if I got some spare batteries. Look at these cheap ones I can get on eBay. Don't buy them. They're junk. Okay? Okay? Our Peak agrees. Alright, folks, howdy do. Not bad. Here. I'll put that on there.
Okay.
And by the way, you too can buy one of these if you'll go to MrHeavyChevy.com, where you can also get cool Mr. Heavy Chevy apparel, t-shirts, muscle shirts, shorts for your girlfriend, and other interesting items. Don't forget, folks, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah, and it's kind of cold, so I'll get the hoodies.
It might be warm in the house. Get some shorts too. So you know us, if a little bit is good, more is better, right? So we put a couple more stickers on there that I just happen to have kicking around. So I'm sure that'll make the whatever we run next run better. Oh, and let me show you over here. I said this motor wasn't seized up. It was full of water, but it ain't seized up. I think what we're going to do is tear this apart and just see what it's made of. If I had to guess, judging from the oil and all on it and a chrome cover, that somebody built this one time and ran it a while and then put some different heads on it. But we'll see what happens. I don't know that I'll be diving into that right off. I got a million other things to do. Namely, put that motor in that truck. And then, oh, I got something else. Let me show them that. Shall we? Shall we, bud?
Sure.
I really got to get some storage. I got some lowering springs and some shackles and some hangers for the GMC so we can lower it. About 2 in the front, 4 in the back. You know?
Sure.
Yes, it's called a 2-4 drop for those in the know. 2-4 drop. And that's all we're going to do tonight. It's like Tuesday night, right, bud?
Yeah.
Alright, let's call it a night. And maybe we'll come back tomorrow night, according to how we feel.